But not only did we get all of those Roger cards earlier today, we also got a bunch of new support for the new OP13 leaders. Each of them got one SR or secret. But these SRs and secrets are also quite versatile and will benefit older leaders in some interesting ways. So starting off, we've got 10-12 Edward Newgate, 4 Emperors Whitebeard Pirates. He's a blocker, and on play, you draw 2 trash 1, then give your leader and one of your characters up to 2 rested dons each. So in this way, this is kind of like a 6-12 blocker with draw 2 trash 1, which is great. And first things first, this can be summoned with the 8 cost I Am Whitebeard event. And even if you don't choose to do the second effect, and take a life to get +2 power to your leader, just being able to cheat this out is honestly maybe worth the card if you can get this on your 8 don turn specifically. Because this is a 12k blocker, this is almost certainly going to get you out of a hit and save you a card. So in that way, you've sort of negated the card that you lost by playing the I Am Whitebeard event. And you also get to draw 2 trash 1 and get the extra dons. So this really seems quite reasonable to cheat out early. Obviously, this is designed for the new Portgas D Ace leader. He wants a don on him, so Newgate's effect to give your leader a don makes sense. He's also going to help with your defense because you are a 3-life leader, so you're going to need that extra bit of defense potentially. This is also a natural potential inclusion in both Marco and Ace of Newgate. Marco is a bit more of a removal focused deck, so it might be hard to find the room for a card like this, but he does give a don to your leader, and Marco does need a don on his leader, and he can also put dons on some crucial when attacking characters, such as the 3-cost Robin, that helps with some of your removal, or an Ivankov to let you swing into your opponent's leader and draw a card. In Ace and Newgate, there's no specific synergy, other than it just being a very efficient card. It's big, it helps with defense, and this deck already has quite a lot of defense, and stacking something like a 7-cost Odin behind this, whilst you can't restand your Odin on the turn that you play this Newgate, for obvious reasons, this 10-12 Newgate being able to protect your Odin from battle, and then Odin's effect being able to prevent removal of him, could create some interesting board states where your Odin just kind of gets to swing twice every turn. But not only that, I think this could benefit some older rogue leaders as well, non-Whitebeard leaders. Blue-Yellow Nami needs a don on her leader, and she loves having a lot of defense, so a large blocker could be alright. The 2 don on a character doesn't particularly do anything in Nami, but again, it lets you swing a bit larger to potentially get this your turn effect where you deal damage and draw a card. Also, in Queen, it puts a don on your leader and counts as an 8-cost or higher quick card for Queen's effect. Not sure about this one, this is a bit of a reach, but you know, if you're a Queen enjoyer, you need every bit of hope you can get. Moving on, we've got the 10-cost Shanks, and this is one of the ones I'm most excited for sure. So this is a 10-12 slash trait character with the film 4 Emperors and Red Hair Pirates type. On play, set up to all of your Don as active. Then you cannot play any cards from your hand during this turn. So I've seen a little bit of discussion online between a few people on X as to whether this includes events. Notoriously, Vegapunk's leader effect does not allow him to play Egghead type events from hand, even though his effect simply states play a card with the Egghead type and a cost of 5 or less. However, I have heard in the Japanese there is a difference between the wording used on this Shanks and the wording used on Vegapunk's effect, so it remains to be seen. If this does let you use events, well, that's just crazy, because you can use cards like Gum Gum Mole Pistol, you can use restanding events on leaders that can restand, or even just maybe some searcher events. But at a baseline, this is going to give you all of your Don back, which you can then use to swing big, and in a deck like Red Green Luffy, well, you can just leave 5 of them up to be 10k counter, which is utterly bonkers. This is effectively a free 10-12. If all you were going to do is swing anyway, this card seems really, really good. Also, in the Red Green Luffy leader, if we are going down a film route, which now that we've seen a green film card in the set, and it's not Straw Hat Crew, it's not Supernovas, it's film, and like Red Hair Pirates, but that's not really a package. That makes me feel like the green cards in this set might be film. And because of that, maybe the film engine with the 3-cost Nami, the 7-cost Luffy, and maybe even this 2-cost Luffy, that's another film searcher, could be the way to go. But these cards will allow you to search for him in Luffy, which is great. And don't forget, this is a film card. Uta benefits from this, especially if this translation does work out in the way that you can activate events from your hand after playing Shanks. That could be kind of crazy, because you can play a 10-12, put like 7 Don on your leader, swing 12, I'm invincible, swing 12, draw a card with leader effect. That could be kind of crazy. Even if you can't though, if you've managed to build up a bit of a board, which is very easy to do with the green film engine, this, just restanding all your Dons, then you can swing out with your characters really big, force a lot of pressure on your opponent, and maybe even leave a couple Dons up for a counter event. And don't forget, this Shanks is Slash, so in the decks that are focusing around the Slash trait, such as Green Zoro or Red Green Smoker, this is going to be brilliant. I mean, at a very baseline, in Zoro, you can slam the Shanks, restand 10 Don, put them all on your leader, and swing 15-15 whilst developing a 10-12. That seems kind of crazy, and of course, Green Zoro is notorious for playing many counter events, things like Paradise Waterfall, and also the Dead Man's Game with its 3k counter secondary effect. This could be a very reasonable way to feel quite happy about your turn, still leave a load of Don up for counter events, and swing massive into a character and massive into leader. In Smoker, I think this is less promising unless you can activate events from your hand after the effect. We're really going to be waiting on an official translation and an official ruling in Japanese on that. But if you can, being able to use cards like Honesty Impact and Gum Gum Mole Gun after playing this 10-12, man, that could be kind of insane. I'm really excited to see what that ruling is, because that could change everything whether or not you're able to activate events. Next up, we've got Sabo. He's a 6/7, and this is your first secret rare from the set. Dressrosa, Rev Army. He's a blocker, and activate main once per turn. You can give one of your characters +2 costs until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then, give one rested Don to your leader. So this card is obviously very much designed for the new Sabo leader. He buffs himself to 8 and gives your leader a Don. So on your 6 Don turn, it's another way to get your leader effect firing. And don't forget, your leader effect will also buff him up to 8k. And 8k statline on a blocker is nothing to be scoffed at. We've seen how good Katakuri is, and we've seen how good the 8-cost Mihawk is. So this Sabo being a 6-cost that's an 8k blocker, that's pretty reasonable. Also worth noting, this is every single turn. So whilst this guy's on the board, at the very baseline, even if you've got another 8-cost and this +2 cost doesn't really matter, you're getting a free Don. It's like the 1-cost Koala, but on a brilliant statted blocker. Also, this is a nice little buff for Black Yellow Koala. It's another card that counts as 8 to proc her leader effect, where you can draw a card. Also, being able to put a Don on your Koala every turn is going to enable you to play on curve and still swing into 6k leaders like Blue Purple Luffy or Red Blue Ace. And indeed, this is another card that you can summon from the Black Dragon. This is a blocker with the same stat lines as the Nico Robin, but the Nico Robin is locked to Koala. So if you're playing Sabo, this is really the best blocker you can summon off of 8-cost Dragon. And it being Rev Army as well just means that it's even more searchable. Brilliant stuff. I don't think there's a great deal of applications outside those 2 Black Rev Army leaders for this one. But in Mono Black Luffy, on your 6 Don turn, this does let you proc your leader effect to go to 6. It's not crazy and it's not searchable and it doesn't really fit in with Black Luffy's plan. But if we get enough cards, maybe we could see this in Black Luffy. Next up, we've got 9/10 Jewelry Bonney, Egghead Bonney Pirates. And before we get into this, this art is incredibly sus. Whoever's drawn this, I don't know about this one, Chief. I feel like we might have to get the alt arts, because I don't know if I can play with this card. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, on play, if your leader is Egghead, this character gains Rush. Then your opponent adds the top card of their life to their hand. So this is a burn effect and a 10k rush, which is likely to either get rid of a character or deal a damage itself. And the fact that this has a trigger means that it will proc your OP13 Jewelry Bonney Leaders effect, so that you can give 2 rested Dons. The trigger, for what it's worth, is if your life is 1 or less, you can rest to 7. Now that is one of the biggest rest triggers we've seen. However, relying on you being at 1 or less might make it somewhat less reliable. However, it's really the fact that this has a trigger that is the important thing. This is going to be solid top end in an archetype, in the Egghead archetype, that really doesn't have top end. Their stuff kind of caps out at 5, basing around Vegapunk's leader effect in the past. And this being a really aggressive piece of yellow top end is something that we've not seen that much in the past. We've seen, obviously, the yellow kid who can just trash one of your opponent's lives, but this forcing them to take the life to hand and then getting to attack as well seems quite promising. Also, here's some fun interactions you can do. You can grab this off Derashi, which is cool. It looks like the Bonney deck is going to be very much based around triggers, so Derashi netting you a card here and there is going to be pretty reasonable include, and the fact that your top end is also searchable by it is lovely. Lilith can grab this. In the early game, if you play out Lilith, for example, on 3, you get 2 rested Dons on your leader. It's effectively a 1/5 searcher, and this being able to search for your top end Bonney is great. Also, you can search off the search event, but that one is slightly less interesting. Also a nod that this is playable in Vegapunk. Vegapunk has had a very dubious top end. It's all been unsearchable, whether you're playing Linlin's 5-cost Ace, 8-cost Kid, no matter what top end you were playing in Vegapunk, it's always unsearchable. And this being specifically 9 is beautiful, because it means on 10, you can still use your leader effect to either heal or play another guy. And don't forget, Vegapunk was already a fairly aggressive deck in and of itself, because you're playing out these 5 costs for just 1 as soon as your first turn going first. So this Bonney could really bring a nice little buff to the Vegapunk deck, which I'm excited for. And I'm really excited to see what other good Egghead cards we get in this set. Because, man, I really enjoyed Vegapunk. He's just kind of felt a little bit weaker as we've moved into OP11. But if we get some good support, he could come back. Next up, we've got Saint Shalria, and this was actually revealed via the One Piece card game, The Best Selection Volume, what are we on now, 5? The new one that was just revealed on Premium Bandai comes out in February, and this is the alt art of it. It's a 1/0/1k with the Celestial Dragons type, and on play, you look at the top 3, grab a dragon, add it to your hand, trash the rest, and then trash 1 card from your hand. So that's obviously not great. I mean, you look at cards like Brand New or Spandam, that are very similar, but they don't force you to trash. The only card we've seen like this in the past was the 1/2 Perona, but that card was a 2k to make up for it, and it had a very specific reason as to why. Now, this card is not a 2k, but if I had to guess, I'm going to guess the Emu leader. When we eventually get to see it, will enlighten us onto why this forces us to trash a card. I'm guessing something to do with their leader effect is going to rely on either having certain cards in trash, or maybe even just a certain number of cards in trash. Well, what can we search with this? Well, currently not that much. These are probably the 2 best targets. We've got St. Rosward and St. Charlos. Very similar cards. St. Rosward is a 5/0/1k, where if all of your characters have the Celestial Dragons type, all of your opponent's characters get -6 cost. So this is a stronger 10-cost Kuzan, obviously without his on play. However, -6 is just kind of a bonkers reduction across the board. But obviously it does rely on all of your characters being Celestial Dragons, so you couldn't play something like a 4-cost Lucci to clean up. You've also got St. Charlos, he's a 3/0/1k that has the same effect, but it gives -4. So, I mean, with both of these on the board, all of your opponent's characters are -10 cost, taking even Jack down to 1. Incredible. This does make me wonder if Emu or some of the new Celestial Dragons cards are going to have KO effects, but if they're good, I mean, these cards are really, really strong. Obviously, if you can rest them, you can just kill them for free. They have 0 power. However, if these guys get to stick on the board, these could be pretty terrifying. We're very much waiting to see what the Emu leader and the new cards do as to whether these are any good. We also have these 3. You have the Ibid 500 million. It is a 3-cost event that can KO a 1, or bounce a 1, or life a 1. Then if you have a Celestial Dragons character, it will draw a card. So this is always comboed quite nicely with the Roswell and the Charlos. The package just isn't big enough. There's not enough of these Dragons type cards. So maybe we'll see this in the Emu deck. Not sure on this one. Mjolsgard, probably not. He's a 5/1/1k with the Activate main. You rest 1 Don, him, and something else to get back a 1-cost black character. This does not seem very good, and neither does Homing. This is a 1/0/1k, Activate main, trash him, give one of your black characters +3 cost. These are Celestial Dragons, but they don't really do a lot of good effects. But I thought we'd highlight them as there are literally only 5 Celestial Dragons type cards currently in the game. However, one card that you should be aware of is Merijois, and this is getting a reprint in PRBO2 with the fancy new altar. This is a 1-cost stage with your turn. Character cards that cost 2 or more and have the Celestial Dragons type cost 1 less to play from your hand. So this would mean that if this is on the board, you can play your St. Charlos for 2 or your St. Rosward for 4. This cheating dons, and this isn't even a once per turn, this is just a static effect that your opponent's going to have difficulty removing because it's a stage. Obviously, I'm expecting the new set to bring lots more Celestial Dragons type cards, and this could really be dangerous if this gets too crazy on the Don cheat, but we will have to see. This also creates the interesting situation where we could get our first 11-cost character that you can only play if you've got this on the board to bring its cost down to 10. Let me know what you think in the comments on that one. As for when we will find out about the Emu leader, I think this tweet from Orange Samurai D summarizes it quite well. This was shown on the official broadcast that revealed all of these SRs today. Everything will be revealed at One Piece Day. One Piece Day in this context is the 10th of August. So sadly around a month from now, which is kind of crazy. But this could be pretty interesting if this coincides the reveal of the Emu leader with an Emu face reveal in the manga. Man, that would be really hype. That would be really exciting for the card game to essentially either collab or get to reveal Emu's face. Man, that could be pretty cool. Let me know what you think on that one. Do you think we'll actually get an Emu face reveal? I think it would be a really interesting way for them to do it, and it does seem like with all this hype they're building from this video, you never know. Next up, we did get the alt arts for all the leaders. I've already shown the Roger one in my video earlier today. It's the classic laughing Roger pose. Can't go wrong. We've also got these two. You got the Luffy, very happy, exclaiming that he's going to become the king of the pirates. You've got sad Ace at Marineford, about to get tilted by Sakazuki and throw the whole event. I'm not too sure about this one. He looks a little bit beaten up, but I do like the Luffy. Looks very clean. And then we have these two. This Sabo, first of all, looks exactly the same as the OP13 Sabo. I'm going to overlay the OP13 Sabo on the screen right now so you can compare. They look the same. What's going on? And Bonney's been done diabolical. What is this, man? Come on, you couldn't got a picture where she was happy or like the Nika Bonney? What is this? I don't know about this one, Chief. Anyway, there's the Bonney and the Sabo. And one interesting thing to note about these alt arts is check out the borders. The borders overlap the faces. The faces don't overlap the borders at all, which I believe is a first. Let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I believe all the old alt arts overlap the borders. Interesting one there. That's it for today. Just a quick video going over the rest of the reveals. I don't think we'll have any more reveals today. At least I hope not. I don't want to make any more videos. Either way, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.